in just a moment. But right now, here's Matt Buckler with the call down into turn 1.
Two drivers who have been struggling this year up at the front, and it's Kyle Casagrande who is able to jitterbug into the lead. Here comes Matt Clement with a dive bomb move down low. Will it stick like he has crazy glue for tires? It will be Clement trying to battle the lead away from Casagrande, and he does. Your first lap leader is Matt Clement.
So, Matt, there's no question about it. 3 wide, they slip up the racetrack. Clement, who has been so racy this season, his confidence is up. The black and gold is pretty much the dominant car with only 1 lap up on the board. But Lavoie is the defending champion and challenging. There is the number 12 machine, Matt, of Alexandra Fearn. She has been very strong in recent weeks, and last week's feature event winner with that brand new tattoo setting back in the 4th spot.
And right now he is trying to move his way up through the field. Gary Patnode, who now Fearn making things happen against Jeremy Lavoie. Lavoie almost lost it as he went around like a tilt-a-whirl in turn number 4. We'll see if Alexandra can take advantage of it.
She takes full advantage of the inside groove. All of a sudden, inch by inch, she does. She takes over the runner-up spot. Lavoie settles back into the 3rd spot, and like a flash, Gary Patnode is working his magic, challenging the inside to the defending champion. They come off the turn side by side, evenly matched, Matt, and the bottom of turn number 1 seems to be magical for these limited late models tonight.
And some handling issues for Jeremy Lavoie as he loses another position. This one to Gary Patnode. But at the top, the brightest light bulb in the chandelier is Matt Clement. Took the lead on the first lap, and he is trying to stretch it out over Alexandra Fearn, and we'll see if she can do it.
Well, believe it or not, the fastest car on the racetrack is currently the Matt Clements machine with a 22.350. Alexandra Fearn is reeling in as they come off the turn. But meanwhile, you're right, Matt, Lavoie seems to have something. Maybe a tire is starting to lose some pressure because all of a sudden that car, which was so strong in the opening lap, is starting to drift back just a bit. And now all of a sudden it was the Casagrande machine making its presence known there, Matt. But Clement is the star of the show. Cross flags in the air, halfway down and halfway to go.
And the man in control is Matt Clement. Jim Boyle making his debut. He is back a ways in 6th place. And at the rear of the field is Kevin Crosby in car number 33. Here comes Casagrande trying to jackknife his way underneath the 6 of Lavoie. They are dead even, exiting turn 4.
Casagrande, like days of old, rumbles down underneath Lavoie's. Lavoie's car, the back end snaps around. As we said before, almost like perhaps a tire is losing some pressure on Lavoie's race car. Now remember, these competitors do not have the luxury of having crew members on pit road. Once they're out there, they're in a zone of their own all by themselves. And speaking of zones of their own, Matt Clements is doing just that. He clicked off the fastest lap of the race, 22.290. Alexandra Fearn, 22.423 on the last circuit by.
As far as he is concerned, everybody else is in the twilight zone. As Alexandra Fearn trying to get on the podium, she'll have to have a steady final 5 laps. And it is Patnode. He'll try to be on the podium for the 2nd consecutive week in car number 22. As he says it's amazing that he is racing at all. And not only is he out there, he is racking up podium finishes.
He certainly is, and he is looking very strong still with 11 laps up on the board. The distance for the limited late model feature is 15 laps. If you've just joined us, it's Twisted Tea Night, a part of a Napa Auto Parts presentation where Napa know-how is more than a phrase, it's a way of life. Clement looks as good as the nights he dominated the racing action, and Matt, I think his confidence is at an all-time high this season as well.
And he was very disappointed at the start of the year that he had never dented the win column, but he more than has made up for that, leading by the length of a Goodyear blimp over the 12 of Fearn. Things are getting interesting for 3rd. 3 cars want the spot. Patnode has it. Knocking on the door is Casagrande. Jeremy Lavoie is there. down to the final two, and third place is up for grabs.
It certainly is, Matt. And all three of those cars remind you of, well, they're not as strong as they once was. They are pretty much evenly matched, though, so it's kind of a mini race within a race. White flag is out, final circuit as they head down to turn one.
Boy, it looks like that number 6 car, Jeremy Lavoie, has come back to life. It is threatening the stranglehold that Casagrande has on fourth place. Up at the front, joyride time. Matt Clement, as he has one more turn, separating himself from a victory.
There's no question about it. Clement looks racy. Double checkers are out. Matt Clement has done it again. Second place, Alexandra Fearn. Look out, here they come back to the line. And it is going to be Gary Patnode to finish in the third spot.
And he's out of the car where he can hear you. And Matt, after an early start, able to work your way through traffic, but it looks like the 59 was on rails tonight.
Oh, man, I mean, I kept looking in the mirror waiting for Alexandra, for Jeremy to make a late race charge there, and I just saw the gap kept growing, and I said I just keep doing what I'm doing here, keep running my line, and thankfully we were able to outrun everybody, and sorry if we stunk up the show a little bit, but I mean, that was a heck of a lot of fun. Shout out to my dad. This is his Father's Day present. We're going cheap this year. We bought tires this week. So thank you to him. Thank you to my sponsors,
hey,
Elmo's Dockside of Vernon, Aquatic Wildlife of South Windsor, DMW Vinyl Graphics for the wrap on this thing, Wayne's Auto Body Man for the killer paint job on this thing. Shout out to my dad, my mom, my brothers, Scott and Jay, Sophie, my girlfriend. She's the best. She's always here supporting me. Robbie, Sully, Deb. Is Deb down here? She is down here. She said only if I won would she be down here. Just what a dream so far this year, man. 3 wins out of 7 races here. I mean, I couldn't even think of this a year ago. I mean, this is just awesome.
And guys, just like tonight's race, he went through this interview quick and clean. We'll head over to my partner, Jeff McConney, who has second and third.
Well, I'm here with second place finisher Alexandra Fearn, who put up a great race, held off a couple of the other cars, held off Gary Patnode for a while there before he fell back a bit. But first off, how are you feeling? This is your second place finish of the season so far, and your first one since I've been down here in the pits.
Yeah, this definitely feels really good. The list of changes and the amount of work and improvements we've done to the car is way too long to even tell you about here. But believe me, there's a lot of people who make this happen, and I'm really thankful to have those people. Amadeo, Bob, my dad, Tom, John G. Powers, just everybody who works on this car. Dave is here. He helps us out a lot too. And everyone else, you guys know who you are. I can't thank you guys enough. Also, my sponsors make this possible. I wouldn't be here without them either. Safeco Foam, Rad Auto Machine, Mass Collision Auto Repair, Whip Sporting Goods, King Ward Coach Lines, everybody who makes this possible. Like I said, I say this every time. I wouldn't be nothing. I would not be here without them, so thank you.
A great second place finish for Alexandra Fearn. Gary Patnode's on his way over. I talked to Alexandra over in the paddock a couple weeks ago, and she looked at me and she said adjustments are the biggest thing that are going on. But we have third place here, Gary Patnode, the man with the new tattoo. First place last week, third place this week. You fell back a little bit towards the end of the race and had to hold off Casagrande and Lavoie. So how are you feeling after holding off third place?
Well, another podium finish, and that's what it's all about. We're looking long-term right now, all of a sudden. I think I overdrove it a little bit, maybe heated up the right rear. Car got a little bit loose on me. You know, podium finish again. We're happy with that. The car's in one piece. I was kind of wondering if it was going to come home in one piece because the 7 was getting a little aggressive there, you know, a little too aggressive. But anyways, it's all good. And just a few of my sponsors, Donnie Wood. Donnie gives me great power. The car flies. Buzzy with the transmissions. The roots for this racetrack. Couldn't do it if this racetrack wasn't here. Sunoco Race Fuels, my whole team, the RRC guys, just everybody involved with this team. I mean, this is a total team effort. If I didn't have these guys, I would not be standing here. So it's about a team effort right here. It's not the driver, it's the team. So I appreciate everything everybody does. And we've had some really good comments from the people in the stands. And see you next week.
See you next week, promises Gary Patnode with a great third place finish.